I think okay na to. So weird. Okay. So let's continue. So yung ginagawa, nasa na nga ako? Ouch. I don't know. What am I doing? So ulitin natin. So dapat git reset na dapat yung i-type ko. So itong next step, git reset dash dash hard fetch it. So yung ginagawa nito is just part of the idea na isi-sync ng computer na to yung files ko. Ayan, so head is now at def 4053 added Sir Mike Lataza on reviewer. Ayan, so that's a good news. So sync na yung files. So git pull, the next command would be git pull. Ulit nanghihingi na ulit siya ng account credentials. And then password. So yan, password ulit. Again, hindi ko tina-type yung passwords ko manually, but instead inaano ko siya. Yan. So the next, ano yung next step? Migrate, restart the web app. So yan, actually tapos na. So yung next step is punta tayo sa web. And then i-restart natin yung web app. So pag restart ng web app, supposedly fix na to. So magiging okay na to. So let's check kung actually nag-work ba. So dapat kung i-refresh ko to, let me check my audio. Yan, so let's check. Tinan ko yay! Okay, there we go. Meron na. Yan, so si Engineer Michael Glenn. So sa website talaga to literally. So sa buhay natin to na website. So na-update na natin. So nandyan na si Sir Mike. Yun yung credentials niya. Perfect. So yan, ganun na kasimple. So simple update sa website, no? Ano ba ginagawa ko? Okay. Yeah. Inom muna ako ng tubig eh. Ay nako. Yan yun natin. So, ano pa ba nasa checklist? Ano pa ba kung anong dapat gawin? So, maraming kailangan dapat gawin, no? So, ito time kasi na to, intended talaga to na mag-update ako sa website. All those things. Yan ang man dito. Add search. Fix the exam. Ayan, tapos na to. So, itong add Michael. Ito, meron tayong titingin tayo dito. Ayan, so, meron akong checklist dito. So, ayan, so itong task na to. Tapos na natin to. So, lagyan natin ng check mark. Ayan, very satisfying. So, ano pa ba mga dapat gawin? Ito, this is my I'll just watch Reddit. At this point, I'm just being lazy, so I just look at Reddit stuff. So may Reddit din ako. I should hide my username. Perfect. So, dapat walang nakakaalam kung sino ako sa Reddit. It's just a Reddit thing, di ba? Na hindi dapat alam ng karamihan yung yung username, di ba? That's the best way to put it. Dapat walang nakakaalam sa sa username. Because why would you share your username to the world? Yeah. Just trying to find something interesting here. VPN with traceback. Hello sa mga viewers natin dyan. Which is, I don't know kung meron pa ba. Anyway, so what do we have here? Right. Try na lang natin i-pop up yung chat dito sa laptop. I think I'm just gonna, yung brain ko is going down to a halt, you know. Wait lang, may klase ba ako bukas? Ano ba schedule tomorrow? Walang klase bukas. Wala akong klase bukas. So that's good. I mean, that's fine. But my notifications. Thank you sa mga nag-subscribe, no? May mga nag-subscribe pala. Ayan, so every subscriber counts, diba? Pag week ka pa lang na YouTuber. YouTuber. Is that the term? Yeah, I think so. So what I'm just doing now is itatry ko lang na i-pop up yung chat sa laptop just in case may mga mag-chat bigla. I don't know. Just trying different things here. Yeah. Let's try to pop up onto the other side of my. So we're at the second computer. So So, itong second computer, ito yung ginagamit ko pag I'm playing game, no? So, dalawa yung computer ko. So, sa mga curious on how these things work, usually dapat meron kang gaming. Let me arrange this one. So, meron ka streaming PC. Tapos meron kang gaming PC. So, dalawa yan kapag nag-set up ka ng ganito scenario. So, yeah, that's how it works usually. Laro mo na tayo. I think I'll just play some game. Magandang laruin. Ano ba magandang laruin? Of course, the best game ever, Dota. Let's pop that. Teka, may After Effects pa akong natira. So, let's pop Dota. Pop Dota. Nararara. Yan. Prom prom prom. I don't know if familiar kayo sa laro na to. Tagal mag-loading ah. Nagpe-freeze yung laptop ko. Siya umuusad. Come on. Come on. Come on. Move it. Move it. What is happening? Perfect. Yan. Feeling ko naglo-loading na siya. Don't make me wait. Yep. Grabe, ang tagal. What's happening? Normally, hindi to ganito ah. Ba't super bagal ito? Seriously. Grabe, ang bagal ng laptop ko ngayon. I don't know what's happening to him. Why are you so slow? Come on. I wanna play. Ah, there we go. Kita nyo yan. Perfect behavior score. What the hell? Nag-freeze na naman. It's freezing. It should not be like this. Ay, ganda ng computer na to. Ganda ng graphics card nito. Ang ganda na GTX 750. Ayan, so nandyan yung cue tayo ng laro. Galin natin yung music. Game sounds lang. Ayan. Aux. So, siguro natin to ilagay. So, isa-set natin sa tamang settings. So, supposedly, tutunog din to sa main output. Voice filter earlier. Yan. So, may sound na. At least. This video. So, i-medium lang natin to kasi nagsistream ako. Medyo yung laptop ko. Screen right now. Let's check natin yung ping. Ping. Check ping. Ayan, yung ping natin is around 60 milliseconds. That's great. Can play with this. Road to Divine. Dapat nagtimpla tayo ng kape. I need some coffee. We need coffee. Wala akong kape. Kaya tayo ngayon. Only time will tell. Sana walang toxic, no? Yung mga friends natin na toxic. Try natin ito ipanalo, guys. Sino ba ibaban natin? Sino yung pinaka-annoying? So, yung main ko talaga is Rubik. No? I don't know. Yes! Okay, there we go. There's my friend. Yeah, Bacillus Gaming, Bacillus, Regen, tsaka Ward. Yeah, so ngayon ang weird na feeling is baka kasi may mga students na dumating and then ma-discover na ang sabi ko sa Zoom group namin is baka may tanong sila, no? So baka may tanong sila, magchat-chat, ma-entertain ko yung questions nila. The problem is ngayon only to find out na pagdating nila sa channel is naglalaro ako ng Dota. So OMG. Anyway, there's nothing really else to do. So kung meron kayong sa mga students ko na nanonood, kung meron kayong questions, chat lang kayo sa chat, no? Because try natin yan sagutin, no? I have nothing, gusto ko lang mag-chill, nothing else to do. So the best way to chill is to answer questions. Ano ba problema niya? Bakit siya laging nagpiping? Hindi ako stressin. Ano ba problema niya? Whoop! Ba't ako yung gusto niyang siya yung mas tank? Dahil hey. Paano ba to? Paano tayo? Oy! Yung Wind Ranger is makulit. Bam! Tayo natin ito, right king na to. Parang reckless to siya. Ito din. Addict din to. Wind Ranger, you're gonna die. Tama mo, naharas siya ng Rubik. Kita mo yan? Ihaharas ko kayong dalawa. Kita mo yan? Masigasig na bata. Rubik on the run. Oopsie. Oop. Na. Tama yung deny na yan. Kita yung mga ibang naglalaro na deny talaga lahat ba. Yung wala talagang sinasanto ba. Yung lahat ng creeps na di-deny. Oop. Tikan. No. Don't kill me. I'm a rule my creeps. Nope. You're not touching my courier. Hindi ka nang madede. Yung dedo. Yung ano. Stan! Anak ba? Ay, shoots. Lagot. Lululululu. Yeah. Tayo natin yan. Problema mo po, ha? Wala kang damage, ha? Wala kay damage. Wala kang damage. Lumalaban. Wala kang damage. Ba't ka lumalaban? Ha? Ba't ka lumalaban, ha? Wala kang damage. Atay, dedo. Oy, wrong target. Patay, ito din. Double kill, my friend. Woo! Wala, di kaabot. Kasakit. Alo, 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 alo. Run! Tanga naman ng Wind Ranger na yan. Hey. Missing ang right king. Oopsie, bounty patay. Kalimutan ng bounty. Natakit siya sa akin. Deny, my friend. Up, mine. Up, up, up. Nasaan kaya yung right king? Oh, grabe yung pull yan, no? Ano nangyari sa top? Wala, may nangyaring something sa top. Kaya ko bang mag-respond dyan? Kaya ko ba yan tulungan? Tutulungan, hindi. Kitang malimot mo siya. Ay, nope. Ibabalik ang dati mong sigla. Aking gagamutin. Puso mong sinugatan, sugat na dulot niyang salawahan. Wala kang damage at kalumalaban sa akin. Tutulong, go go go! Oh, up! Piaka ni popcorn. Perfect. Tutulungan kitang malimot mo siya. Predictable. Eh? Wala talaga to. Ano na, farm na talaga to sa simula, tapos pub game. Missing bottom. Ay. Anong problema mo? Ba't ka nagpiping, ha? Na talaga siyang laban sa akin. Patay ang Track 6 Joe Ranger. Scamber dead. Oopsie. Bram. Oo. Paabot ulit. Antay pa na mag-stun ako. Stun kung gusto mo. Ako antayin. So predictable. Wind Ranger nasa gilid. Dali! Labanan mo ako. Ayaw niya. Labanan Bandi! Tutulungan kitang malimot mo siya. Ibabalik ang dati mong sigla. Aking gagamutin! Hindi natamaan, let's. Sorry. I did my best. But my best wasn't good enough. Pew! Harass boy. Takot na to. Missing. Oh, whoopee. Uy. Tamaan ako. Ow. Help, bro. Grabe, wag yun. Come on. Okay, we're back, boys. Di ako nakita agad ni Esben. Okay, missing ang middle. Saya to pag late game na. Marami ng clash. Tadan. Wow. Let's help. It's time to help. Boom! Pugsit! Patay! Tugsh! Wow! Oh. No. Go. Ah! Patay. Dugmo kang kalimutan. Tugsh! Deads. Hindi ko maklik. Layo. Oh. E-sniper is gonna die. Thank you for the help. Nadedo ang mga friends ko. Hindi ako nakatulong. Pangit ng skill na nakuha ko. Ay, sa mga students, baka may mga students ako na nanonood ngayon, ha. Kung may i-ask kayo na questions, mamaya na, or pwede nyo i-chat ngayon, tapos later ko na lang sagutin. Let me check. Dapat missing middle. MMR ko. Ay nako, Guardian lang po. Guardian lang to. Guardian Gaming. Actually, umabot na ako sa point no na naging Crusader, tsaka maybe close to the next one. The problem is kung magsusupport ka talaga, there's no way na unless super galing mo talaga na aabot ka sa higher ranks. Just because kung magsusupport ka kasi, pero ako personally, bakit support yung nilalaro ko? Though ang mas mahirap umangat yung MMR kahit support ka. Yung reason is mas enjoy maglaro ko support, which is the point of bakit ka naglalaro, because mas enjoy. At this point wala na akong pake kung, though it's a good thing siguro kung angat yung MMR ko, but at this point who really cares. Basta nag-enjoy ako. Yun yung the best ko talaga na so yun yung sagot sa tanong na ano yung MMR ko. Weird tong ay hala, may ward dyan. Oh no. Let's do this, boys. Kailangan ko siya maabutan. Oh no, hindi ko siya naabutan. So retreat, push my friends. Punin natin yung friend natin doon. Up! Holy ka! Woo! Nag-panic. Analo tayo, friends. We win. Matapang na bata. Sniper. Ala, tara! Kill, kill, kill! Di ka makakagalaw. Patay, diretso, dedo. Bzz, 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 bzz. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Bzz, bzz, bzz. Alis! Bye! Retreat! Bam bam bam. Dang. Dang. Pag may lumabas, patay. For char lang. Pag may lumabas, patay. Oy, bounty, bounty, bounty. Bounty, bounty, bounty. Bounty, bounty, bounty. Bounty. Nasaan na sila? Konti lang ng ward. Ang dagger ko. Hindi na sila lumalabas sa map. Tanyo? Takot na sila. Farm gaming na ang right king. Tara, tara. Mga hunt ang SBN. Mga hunt siya, mga hunt. Tara, tara, baby. Excuse me. Dapat good posture naglalaro. Ang hirap mag-maintain ng good posture. Good posture. Brum brum brum. Brum brum brum. Oh! B! Talo yata tayo mga boys! B! Uwa! Patay pa rin. Close call. Close call. Woo! eh. 14 seconds. Uy! Uy! Double damage. Talo kayo niyan, bro. Pag nag-SS yan, ang question, meron ba yung SS? Meron. Pag nag-SS yan, tanin. Tara, tara. Prom prom prom. Oh. Wrong move. Ang sakit ng sniper. Kala ko wala lang siya. Patay din ang SBN. B. 2 down. 3 down. 4 down. 5 down. Oh my god. started a joke. I started a joke. Kaya pa to, kaya pa to. Mababawi pa to, mababawi pa. Babawi. Di na mababawi iniwang. Di na mababawi iniwang sakit sa mga salitang binititap. Di ba't ikaw na rin ang nagpasya? Kaya ba natin to? Kaya ba natin to? Ikaw na rin ang nagpasya. Tagda siyang unang umiwas. Sneaky. Nasa aking guni-guni. Saan bumibili ng Blue Wards? Uy! Smoke time! Smoke time! Smoke! Sino ang mamamatay? Abangan sa suko. Ayan. Uli natin ito. Boom! Bam! Dead man! Dead man! Taba na sniper. Sar. Kala ko ba Ala eh. Stick kasi. Mag-stick. Di din. Rubik Lord, di din. Wala. Talo nga ngayon. Feeling ko talo na to. Thank you anyway. Pero, yeah, yun yung goal. Di, enjoy talaga laruin tong hero na to. Like, kahit pa matalo ka, which is, though less yung enjoyment kung talo ka. Pero, masaya talaga tong hero na to. Like, ito kung gusto mong mag-enjoy, ito yung hero ng maximum enjoyment. Ay! Yeah. Invoke na hindi kaya ng brain cells ko yung invoker. Ang daming pipindutin. Unless mag-macro ako. Meron akong macro keys dito. Hindi din. Tried Invo before. Tried Invo before. Pero, hindi ako nag-succeed. Anong walang kwenta yung skill na nakuha ko? Ba't hindi ko nakuha yung shrapnel? Gusto ko shrapnel. Shrapnel I like. Shrapnel I like. Walang kwenta yung skill na nakuha ko. So, right king. Yan, akin yan. Ngayon ka. Ba't ko sinabay yun? Woohoo! Yuhuu! Ay, makakabawi na kami, Esben. Nasa king guni-guni. Hoy mga students, magtanong kayo ha, yun yung purpose ng stream na to. Baka may mga questions kayo. Sasagutin ko legit. About sa exam, yung mga problems, specific na problems. Gusto nyo ng solutions, step by step is. Ba't ko sinabay yung dalawang skill? Pero anyway, who cares? Patay pa rin. Kaya yan, sir. Mas mahirap pa math dyan. Yeah. In any skill, in general, kahit anong skill, practice lang talaga. So, basta ito yung tinatry ko lang talaga ito yung YouTube thingy na to, the stream. Di talaga ako marunong nito. First time to. I mean, I've tried it several times now. I don't know. I don't know. Just fun. Like, ang point kasi is naglalaro ka na. Wala na, nagwa-waste ka na ng time. What if i-broadcast mo na lang na nagwa-waste ka ng time? Di ba? Ayun, nawala na yung word. Oh my god. Maybe. Galing kayo mag-invoker. Hindi ko talaga, I mean, marunong ako mag-invoker. Pero mediocre lang. Parang minsan yung nagagawa ko na combo is ano lang, tornado tsaka hindi, tornado tsaka ano, sunstrike o di kaya ano, yung deafening blast tsaka ano, chaos meteor. Yun yung mga generic na combo. Tapos pagkatapos ng dalawang skill na yun, hindi ko na alam anong gagawin. Cold snap? QQWRD Pantakas. The ghost walk. Auto ghost walk pag may nakitang kalaban. Kailangan natin ng farm. Ay, enemy spotted. Uy, nandun. Balik. Bro! Why? Kainis. You sniper! Sniper, bro! Sniper! Uy! Patay! Whew! Kainis talaga yung sniper eh. Isa sa mga pinaka-annoying na hero. Madali lang naman i-counter. Pero, like, basta makatalon ka lang on top of him. Kaya naman talagang, sniper. Kainis lang pag may matino siyang kasama. Mahirap siyang i-deal with pag matino yung kasama ng sniper. Init ah. Huliin natin to. Hop. Hindi yan gagalaw. Sige lang. Woo, hindi yan gagalaw. Hindi ka gagalaw. Woo. Napilitan siya. Patay ako. I'm dead. Grabe. Buyback nga. Anyway, talo na to. So, buyback na lang tayo. Bawi. Laban. Ouch. Laban. Woo! Oh, bawi. Ay, may tumatakas. Habulin ko yun. Shh. Ka-haste. Tingin kaya yan. Bucepter ako? Yules. Ano ba maganda? Pero hindi ako nila hindi nila ako makarne. Ano ba? Shadow Blade? Ano bang magandang survivability item? Ayan, huli ka! Whoop! Ayoko, alis na ako kasi may sniper. Sniper! Lini, sniper! Alis na ako. Ay, huwag niyo ako isasinit. Buhay pa ako. Sir, may pa shoutout si Ray Domingo. Ano shoutout? Am I worthy of that? Alis! Come on. Ano yung pa-shoutout ni Ray, ha? Woo! You can't do that. Sige, laban. O, bawi. Tereret, patay. Woo! Kaya natin to, tapusin natin ang laban. Yes, kukunin ko ang Stone Gaze. And then, hindi na sila makakapag-clash. Sir, Arcana give... Yan. Ang mahal ng Arcana ng Rubik nga. Gusto ko nga bilhin. 2,000. Wow, galit siya sa akin. Ako talaga yung pinuntir niya sa lahat. Ako talaga puputiryahin mo, ha? Laban. Oh, bawi. End na natin to. Hi, Kim. Sige, harap kayo sa akin. Ha? Harap kayo sa akin. Buhay pa ako. Ay, may Medusa. Hintay dyan. Lalalala. Mamaya na ako mag-give away ng Arcana pag may Arcana na din ako. Hindi to Arcana tong dala ko, ha. Ano lang to? Crux of Perplex. Right? Crux of Perplex. Shiny. Oh! Found him. You cannot escape. Gusto ko yun. Hindi yata nagre-reset yung cooldown. Snaky. Takbo, right king. Habang may lupa, takbo. Bam. Tara na. And matapang na bata. I-end na niya ang laro. Found ya. Dead. No, I'm dead. Woo! Pa-shout out, sir. Pa-shout out kay Ervin Macariola. Yan si Ervin. Like, okay, happy na ako. 1 game. Bye. Yay. Quit. Tingnan muna natin sino yung MVP. Baka ako yung MVP. Pangarap. Tingnan natin sino yung MVP. Ako ba? Hindi. Wala. Yan, win. Yan. And yeah. Inom muna tayo ng tubig. Yeah. Anong oras na ba? 16:41. 4 PM. Hello. Basta. Mag-take na kayo ng exam? Take na kayo ng exam? Ba't nag-take na kayo ng exam, ha? Medyo mahirap yung exam actually. May mga concepts doon na hindi natin somehow na-emphasize. Pero, yeah. Excuse. Hindi siya na... Wait lang. When I am with you, there's no place I'd rather be. No, 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 no. Rather be. Mhm. Ano magandang laruin, guys? Let's do something productive. Ay, come on. Saan na bang gusto sa... Yeah, ilan ba yung nanonood ngayon? Marami bang? Hindi, actually wala akong idea. Feeling ko nga, ako lang ba yung nanonood nito? Let's see, na natin. YouTuber. Anyway, kung meron kayong mga questions guys, sa parang klase lang. Parang klase lang. Kung meron kayong mga questions, yung sa weekly nyo, diba? Or random things lang na gusto nyong parang, kasi actually wala naman talaga akong ginagawa ngayon. Aside sa tama. Dapat pala is, so yung actually, yung isa sa mga plano kong gawin ngayon is kailangan kong i-configure ng maayos yung ano ko, yung OBS. Yun yung ginagawa actually ko ngayon. So kung ano to, parang i-configure, no? So i-keymap yung mga things dito. So, shortcut, anong magandang shortcut dito? Yeah, later na yun. Ano pa ba yung mga hindi ko nagagawa sa website? Okay, meron akong check. Tingnan natin yung checklist. Twist. So may mga ilan ako mga things na kailangan gawin sa site, no? So ito mga exam stats. By the way, sa mga students, matanong ko lang, yung exam stats, yung stats ba na nasa website, gumagana pa rin ba? So bali, ibig sabihin ba yung scores, nakikita nyo pa rin ba? Kasi actually, hindi ko na alam kung nakikita nyo pa. So wala din akong hawak actually sa mga accounts nyo. So I won't really know if gumagana pa ba. Kasi may nag-report sa akin, may ilan sa mga students na nag-report sa akin na sir, yung stats hindi gumagana, hindi ko nakikita yung score ko. Isa to sa mga problems. Yan, so meron ba? Hindi nga. Gumagana ba yung stats? So ngayon, wala na ako ibang gagawin kundi titingin ng Reddit. Reddit reading time. Reddit. So, uso ngayon no, yung sa US ba? yung yun sa US ngayon na nangyayari. Yung kay Trump, di ba? Ayoko ng politika pero yeah. Yung isa-stop down nila yung... So, actually nga, isa sa mga naiisip ko ngayon na maging optimistic tayo is even though yung situation ng Pilipinas is not that very nice, di ba? Pero okay na din yung situation natin kung i-compare sa US. Actually, mas worse yung US. Yung situation nila doon is like worse talaga. No. No praise or rather be. No. Up the juice. So ito yung yung minsan sa mga social media apps, no? Yung scroll ka na scroll, tapos walang something interesting. Even though itong mga subreddits na kung saan ako subscribe ba yung term? Follow? Yung join, yung mga subreddits kung saan ako naka-join is all of these are interested ako. Pero as of now, if I'm looking up them, there's nothing really that nakakapag sa akin give interest kung baga. So I'm in this rabbit hole lang talaga almost all the time. A rabbit hole ng Reddit, YouTube, tapos aral konti, just like everyone else. Though mas feel ko ako kung magso-scroll naman lang ako, usually I make sure na sa laptop na para at least parang intentionality ba nung ginagawa mo. So bali hindi siya parang at the spur of the moment lang. Like, di ba na-try nyo yan na kung procrastinate ka ba, like may ginagawa ka and then seconds later mag-ring yung phone mo and then bali mag-notify and then there you go, nasa phone ka na and then scroll ka na for 4 hours. And the annoying thing about that is siya, parang unintentional, parang hindi mo gusto yung ginagawa mo, napunta ka lang doon. Hindi katulad sa kung nasa laptop ka talaga kasi uupo ako ngayon mag-scroll ako ngayon, di ba? So, titingin ako ng social media, ganun, di ba? Parang may mas maliit na distinction doon. So, yung intentionality ng activity, ba? Hindi siya parang out of your lang. Parang napunta ka lang doon. There's nothing interesting here. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try YouTube. Try natin YouTube. Ano ba maganda sa YouTube? ito, bagong video. Smarter Everyday. Try nyo tong ano na to, channel. Maganda to.
Deep dive here on Smarter Every Day into nuclear submarines.
We're investigating all these different things about how nuclear submarines work, and we're trying to learn very
detailed information about each individual thing. Today we're going to talk about torpedoes, which is fascinating to me because I've actually been downrange from a torpedo when it's engaged a target. This is me in a helicopter back in 2018 as the part of my job, which was a developmental weapons tester. I'm filming the USS Racine waiting on a Mark 48 torpedo to impact, and when it did, it was devastating. That was a part of RIMPAC, the Rim of the Pacific exercise. That activity took place at what's called the Barking Sands Missile Range Facility. And what's so interesting about that is they test missiles there, but they also test torpedoes. If you looked off the coast of Kauai at any given day, you could see a helicopter towing a torpedo that it had picked up out in the ocean after being fired, and they did some kind of weapons development. But here's the deal. Even though torpedoes are super fascinating and they're modern and they're constantly being changed, they are a very old technology. In fact, they were used to great effect during World War I, so this technology needed to fire a torpedo from a submarine is very old, but generally speaking, most people don't know how it works. Today, we're literally going to crawl inside the torpedo tube of a US nuclear submarine in the Arctic Ocean under the ice, and we're going to be able to look around inside this tube and try to understand how all these things work. All right, let's do it. Let's go get smarter every day.
So we're heading down towards the torpedo room.
Torpedo room. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
This is the party.
And so all the places you can have flooding, this is one of the very few, right?
Oh, well, I'll be dang. There we go.
And there it is.
And there it is. Okay.
And so what we got here is
Gonna touch it.
So my name is Alan Howell. I'm the Torpedo Division Chief Petty Officer here on the USS Toledo.
Oh, awesome. Rock and roll. So you're over the torpedoes, did I understand correctly?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay, so right now, where are the torpedo tubes?
So torpedo tubes are forward of the ship on the port and starboard side. So we currently have 4 torpedo tubes on the 688 class submarine. 2 over here on the starboard side, 2 over on the port.
So that's what I'm seeing right there?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So what you're seeing is the breech doors,
and there's one way over there.
and there's 2 more over on that side.
2 on that side, okay, got it.
So what you're seeing is the breech doors, and when we're done with this evolution, we can open them up for you. And if you want to crawl down in there, you're more than welcome to.
In the torpedo tube?
Absolutely.
Crap, yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Let's
good.
do that.
We send our torpedo men down there once a month for maintenance, so we dive the tubes every month. So we're in there all the time.
I like you already.
So you're in.
Rock and roll. I'm going to set this camera up over here. So, well, no, I guess it's going to open that way, isn't it? Can I prop it on this?
We got a greenie if you want to put that on. It's probably going to be wet down there.
So this is
TM2 Knight.
TM2 Knight. What does TM2 mean?
It means torpedoman's mate.
Torpedoman's mate.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. And my understanding is this is a torpedo tube,
Yes, sir.
and there's a thing that you're going to let me do.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna open up the breech door and let you crawl down inside and sign your name or at least try to sign your name on the muzzle door.
This is the standard door for a torpedo tube, I guess.
Yes, sir.
And it's hydraulically operated, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is a torpedo, right?
Yes, sir. Mark 48 ADCAP
What's ADCAP mean?
means advanced capability.
And so this yellow stripe right here means that is a live torpedo.
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. If you think about what's going on here, you've got this long torpedo down in the bottom floor of this submarine. How did it get there? Because we barely have enough room to move around. Okay, so this is Jacob, the assistant weapons officer.
I'm also the diving officer, so I'm responsible for, biggest responsibility is probably rig for dive, which we'll talk about here. But this is the command passageway, naval tradition kind of thing. It's an area where you're supposed to minimize passage. Only certain people are allowed regular passages through here. Right here is the weapon shipping hatch. It happens to be the most convenient way to get into the ship, but it's also the primary means by which we load torpedoes, actually.
Really?
Right now it's rigged for dive, so I can't just open this without captain's permission. But if you were to open this, it swings down that way. You see that hand wheel or that lever right there.
Right.
Turn it and it will swing down that way. You'll see that it's actually at a cant, and that's so that torpedoes actually come in like this, and you wonder where they're going to go. Well, these plates right here, these deck plates, you take them out, and there's a tray underneath that actually swings downward. It's hinged on this side.
Come through, Captain.
And Likewise on the next deck down, take the deck plates out, shipping tray hinges downward, goes all the way down the torpedo room, and we load torpedoes that way.
What I think is fascinating about this is the geometry of taking this huge torpedo and getting it to the bottom floor. All this was figured out way back in the day. Like, the first Los Angeles class submarines were laid down in the 70s, which means all the decisions those engineers made back then affect what types of weapons can be fired now. Now, I couldn't find any footage of loading torpedoes into a Los Angeles class submarine. However, I did find footage of a Harpoon missile being loaded. Now, that has the same geometric form factor as a Mark 48 torpedo, but what's interesting is if you watch how they do this, it's like a choreographed dance to get this torpedo down to the bottom floor. So it doesn't matter what technological advancements you make in the weaponry itself, or the seeker heads, or the guidance, or the fire control, it doesn't matter. You are still constrained by the physical size of the torpedo tube and how you can physically lower it down to the bottom deck of the boat. When it comes to actually inserting the torpedo into the tube, there's either one of two ways that it's done. Number one, you can use hydraulics, which basically pushes the round all the way into the tube, or number two, they can actually override that and do it with snatch blocks and muscle power, because snatch blocks are awesome.
What do you call this contraption here? This is the door of the torpedo?
That's the breech ring, or breech door for the torpedo tube.
Okay, and so if I understand correctly, you're going to open that, and what you would normally do is you would go inside and you would clean it. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're going to let me try?
Yes, sir.
So how do you open this?
All right, so first we're going to verify that everybody's clear of it, and that there's nothing interfering with it, because it's hydraulics. One, clear. All right, good. Pull this plug.
Wow.
Make sure it's latched. And there's the torpedo tube.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna level with you. This was the moment in my life where I realized I was being offered a chance to crawl inside a torpedo tube in a nuclear submarine. So, side note, how the heck did that happen? But when it comes right down to the reality of what's about to go down, how does a torpedo fire? I did not know how a torpedo leaves the tube of a submarine. No clue. Before we crawl down in the tube, I want to try to explain how this thing works so you'll have a better idea of what we're looking at. This is a model of a Mark 48 torpedo. Just 3D printed this, painted it a whole bit. I'm really proud of it. Anyway, there's something really cool about this I want you to see. If you look really close here, on the top of this thing, you can see there's this little tab kind of thing, right? So those little tabs right there have a very specific purpose. If we open the back of the torpedo tube, you can see that on top, there's this little Y, and that Y guides that little tab into the tube so the torpedo will always align to the correct orientation. Up will always be up. But there's other things you can do, right? Not only does it give you radial alignment, but it can give you axial alignment along the longitude of the tube. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think you get it. So as it goes in, if you have something that's pushing down inside that little Y slot, as the torpedo goes forward, boop, it'll bump right there, and it'll stop the torpedo from going any farther. If you have something on the back of it, that'll keep it from going backwards. So at that point, you have constrained the torpedo in 6 degrees of freedom. Roll, pitch, yaw, XYZ. Just with that little slot and 2 little lugs on each side. Before we go down the tube, I want you to understand exactly how the torpedo launching system works. So the first thing we do is make sure the locking lugs are in the correct configuration, and that's that little tab thing I was explaining would keep the torpedo from sliding forward and backwards. So the forward locking lug is going to be in the load position, which means it's going to be down, but the back one is going to be up. Next, we open the breech door and we can slide the torpedo in. Again, we can do that with hydraulics or, my favorite way, snatch blocks. Once the torpedo is in and the locking bolt on the torpedo has moved up against the locking lug in the tube, the aft locking lug comes down and secures the torpedo in the tube in case the submarine pitches up for some reason. You don't want it to slide against the breech door. At this point, the breech door is shut and locked, and now the torpedo is stable inside the torpedo tube and ready for use. In the event they actually want to fire the torpedo, the following sequence takes place. First of all, you have to flood the tube. There's a tank full of water called the WRT, or water round torpedo tank. a valve is open to allow water to flood the tank, but because there's air in there that you have to let escape, you also have to open a valve up top that will vent the air out as you fill it up with water. So this venting of the air back into the submarine is critical because air is a precious resource. You're a submarine, you're a set volume. Now, it's cool to move air around in different compartments in the submarine, but you never let it go because you only have the air that you brought with you, especially when you're under the ice, and you don't want to have to come back to the top, or in this case, you can't go back to the top and get more. So, it's important to preserve your air. Okay, so the water from the WRT tank is filling up the torpedo tube itself, and at some point it completely fills the tube and starts to go up into the vent line. Up there's an electrode that senses the seawater, and at that point the valve on top and the valve on the bottom close at the same time, and we have a torpedo tube completely filled with water. When you go to fill up the torpedo tube with water, you can't take water from off the boat. Because if you have hundreds of gallons of water that you need to fill that tank, suddenly that's like putting thousands of pounds on the front right corner of your boat, which would cause you to tip like this. So in order to do this, they have this carefully choreographed buoyancy ballet where they take water that's already on the ship. In fact, it's very near the tube, and they fill the tube with that. So there's no mass exchange between off the boat and inside. That way, they can carefully trim everything out, and it will stay trimmed throughout the entire firing sequence. So at this point, we have a torpedo tube that's filled with water, but the problem is it is at a lower pressure than outside the boat, because as you know, the deeper a submarine goes, the higher and higher the pressures can get. So what we have to do is equalize the system, and that's the purpose of this valve right here, the equalizing valve. Once we turn this thing, the pressure in the tube will now be the same as the pressure out in the ocean. Now that we have the same pressure on the inside of the tube as we do on the outside of the submarine, we can open the muzzle door because the forces are equalized, but it's also time to move what's called the slide valve. The slide valve is a movable part of the tube that's about midway down the torpedo that concentrically covers all these different rectangular ports through which water can travel. So the slide valve moves, exposing those rectangular ports, and now you can dump water into the torpedo tube. At this point, we are completely ready to fire, and when the fire command comes from fire control back in the control room, both the locking lugs retract, which frees up the torpedo to move axially, and pressurized water from an impulse tank provides a tremendous amount of pressure and flow, which is then introduced into the torpedo tube from all those rectangular holes which were covered by the slide valve, and this additional water in the tube pushes the torpedo out the front of the submarine. Okay, what I'm about to tell you, I do not know for a fact, but think about it. We had a huge torpedo in the tube, and we fired it, and it is no longer on the submarine. The weight of that torpedo is gone, which tells me that in order to maintain balance in the system, an ideal torpedo is probably neutrally buoyant. Anyway, so at this point, we have to return the system to its original state without gaining or losing mass. How do we do that? Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to close the muzzle door and close the slide valve and then close the equalizing valve. At this point, the tube is now shut off from the ocean. And this is the other magic trick. How do we get all this water out of the tube without changing the weight of the boat? We open this three-way valve down here at the bottom and we divert the water from the tube to the auxiliary tank. But because it's going to take forever for that to drain and you have to backfill that water with air, we might as well use pressurized air. So we open this blow valve up top and we have a pressurized source of air to force all that water out down into that aux tank. At this point, when the tube is dry, we close both of those valves and we are left with a pressurized torpedo tube. That's unacceptable because we don't want to waste air. So what we do at this point is we open the three-way valve on top and we vent that pressurized air back into the people part of the submarine, and there you have it. All you have to do is unlock and open the breech and lower the front locking lug, and you're ready to load another torpedo in the tube.
That plate right there that you can see, that's the slide valve there. That's where once the tube is flooded down, we would open that slide valve and there's flow slots inside. So that tank is basically just a free flooded area. So on the other side of that valve is water.
Where is the valve?
It's this giant plate right here that would slide forward and uncover the flow slots.
Got it. Got it. So this thing moves forward and there's holes around the outside that pushes the torpedo out.
Yes, sir. The torpedo gets loaded in all the way down. We flood down the tube. We equalize it with the sea pressure, and then that slide valve, once we open the muzzle door, will open, and that pressure pushes the weapon out of the tube.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
So just crawl down there and sign my name at the end, right?
Sir.
Am I still rolling?
You're still rolling.
So what can I not step on here?
You don't want to step on.
Can I step on the nose of the torpedo?
I would step right here.
Okay,
There's some
thank you.
there's sensitive stuff in there.
Okay, here we go.
Put your foot on here.
Thank you. Yeah, you couldn't be claustrophobic and do this, could you?
No, sir.
So these valves here are these little screens?
Those are just strainers to make sure that whenever we drain the torpedo tube, nothing solid gets into the system.
Gotcha. So there's seawater on the other side of this?
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. So sign my name right here?
Yes, sir. Anywhere you like.
Oh, a lot of people have done this. Huh. It's really, really cold. I guess because we're in the Arctic, huh?
Might have something to do with it.
There's no way this marker's gonna work. It's literally ice. Well, there was an attempt.
So that's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for. Let's see if I can see you. That's awesome. You're a really long ways away.
About 20 feet.
20 feet?
Yes, sir.
It's pretty cool. Sweet. Coming back.
All right. Apparently there's ice on it. Yeah.
So is that a D10 slot?
Second. Oh yeah. So what you're looking at right now is the stop bolt.
Yeah.
So when we load the torpedo in, it's got a little notch on the top of it. So we load that in, and that forward one, it is down. So that tells it. So that stops it, and then we roll it so that the rear one comes down as well, and that locks the torpedo in place so that it's not going to come out of the tube with the breech door open. And
Oh, I see. So it's a cam that rolls.
yes, sir.
Did you grease it?
We have greased it.
That's awesome. It looks like it's riding on some type of Teflon or Delrin or something.
Yes, sir. That's the sliding surfaces so that the torpedo has something to slide on without scratching or damaging it.
That was awesome. That was really cool. It was ice.
Yeah.
Is that normal? That's just the Arctic, I
It's
guess.
just being in the Arctic with how cold it is.
That's amazing. Well, that's something I've never thought I would do. There was an attempt. All right, so that's sliding down a torpedo tube on the USS Toledo. Thank you.
No problem, sir.
Appreciate it. It was freaking cold, is what it was. like ice.
Like real cold, I know.
Ice at the end. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
This video is a part of the Smarter Everyday deep dive series into nuclear submarines. We're going to study a whole bunch of different stuff, and I would love it if you would consider subscribing to learn about this stuff with us. It's fascinating. There's way more to come. This episode is sponsored by Raycon. If you've never used Raycons, highly recommend it. These are called the Everyday E25s, and I want to show these things to you. Check these out. So
Bye.